Hi, I am Daniel, and here's our first story from the Denver Post. U.S. Surgeon General warns of teen risks from e-cigarette. The government's top doctor is taking aim at the best-selling electronic cigarette brand in the U.S., urging swift action to prevent Juul and similar vaping brands from addicting millions of teenagers. In an advisory Tuesday, Surgeon General Jerome Adams said parents, teachers, health professionals, and government officials must take aggressive steps to keep children from using e-cigarettes. Federal bars the state of e-cigarettes to those under 18. For young people, nicotine is dangerous and it can have negative health effects. Adams said in an interview, it can impact learning, attention, and memory, and it can prime the youth brain for addiction. Federal officials are scrambling to reverse a recent explosion in teen vaping that public health officials fear could undermine decades of declines in tobacco use. An estimated 3.6 million U.S. teens are now using e-cigarettes, representing 1 in 5 high school students and 1 in 20 middle schoolers, according to the latest federal figures. Separate survey results released Monday showed twice as many high school students used e-cigarettes this year compared to last year. E-cigarettes and other vaping devices have been sold in the U.S. since 2007, growing into a $6.6 billion business. Most devices have a heat and a flavored nicotine solution into a inhalable vapor. They have been pitched to adult smokers as a less harmful alternative to cigarettes, though there's been little research on the long-term health effects or on whether they help people quit. Even more worrisome, a growing body of research suggests that teens who vape are more likely to try regular cigarettes. Adams singled out Silicon Valley startup Juul. The company leapfrogged over its larger competitors with only online promotions, portraying their small device as the latest high-tech gadget for hip, attractive young people. Analysts now estimate the company controls more than 75% of the U.S. e-cigarette market. This story is from the Denver Post. Iconic bald eagles no longer threatened, but still pressured by development. Front Range nesting bald eagle studies founder Dana Bove spends her days along the Boulder-Weld county line staring through a spotting scope and the bald eagle nests that dot the area. On any given day, Bove might be parked along a rural road peering through a scope, and every 3 minutes jolting down his observations in a marbled composition book. He is disturbed by much of what he sees: fracking operations with 100-foot halls, a large housing development creeping slowly to the west, and what appears to be an oil company preparing to build a pipeline near a nest. That was a travesty, he said during one outing, pointing to a field on the county line. An oil company had hooked a chain around an old-growth cottonwood tree, the preferred home of the nesting bald eagles, and pulled it down to make way for yours. It was nothing short of a travesty. I swore to myself I'd never see that happen again. Colorado. The birds, of which Bo snapped a photo perched on a pump jack near the former site of their tree, moved several times before setting up shop in another tree close to the prairie dog spawns and wetlands. We are lucky to live here in Dove Creek, where we can often see bald eagles close up as they feed on roadkill, deer, or elk. They are truly majestic birds. The story from the Durango Herald. The Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroads, coal-burning locomotives have a long history of starting wildfires on public lands, with about half of the firefighting costs falling on the taxpayers. According to a 20-year snapshot of fires starting by the DNSNG in the San Juan National Forest, the U.S. Forest Service has billed the railroad $1,195,265 for putting out the wildfires. Of the amount, the DNSNG has paid only $623,078, about half of its recurring theme in 2 decades worth of fire investigations. A senator from the DNSNG coal burning engine will start a fire in the National Forest. The Forest Service will send crews to fight the blaze. Investigators will deem the DNSNG at fault and send the railroad a bill for suppression costs. But in almost every instance of several major fires starting by the DNSNG, the railroad comes back with a lower counteroffer, often denying its locomotives were the cause of the fire, and the Forest Service time and again agrees the railroad's marked down offers. The federal documents were released this week as part of a Freedom of Information Act request, which sought Forest Service investigations on fires started by the DNSNG. The agency provided records of completed fire investigations from 1994 to 2013. While nearly 20 fires sparked investigations during that time period, the FOIA requested focused on 8 major fires. In August 2002, the SCAF 2 fire burned through more than 550 acres of the San Juan National Forest, and investigators deemed that a spark from a coal-fired train ignition the fire around 11:30 a.m. August 16th. It took nearly 6 years, but in February 2008, the DNSNG was billed more than $502,000 for firefighting costs, though no correspondence from DNSNG representatives were included in the SCAF 2 fire report. Forest Service officials indicate the railroad denied that this locomotive started the fire and claimed it was protected from responsibility. Now for dumb laws in New Jersey. Drivers must warn those who they pass on highways before they do so. Spray paint may not be sold without a posted sign warning juveniles of the penalty for creating graffiti. Handcuffs may not be sold to minors. All motorists must honk before passing another car, a bicyclist, skater, and even a skateboarder. It is legal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder. One may yield a phone line to a person if it is an emergency. You cannot pump your own gas. It is against the law for a man to knit during the fishing season. It is against the law to frown at a police officer. In an attempt to foster kindness in the citizens of New Jersey, the month of May is designated Kindness Awareness Month. If you have been convicted of driving while intoxicated, you may never again apply for personalized license plates. The third Thursday of October is designated as New Jersey Credit Union Day, and citizens of the state should observe the date with appropriate activities and programs. Car dealerships are forbidden from opening on Sunday. You may not slurp your soup. Automobiles are not to pass horse-drawn carriages on the street. It is illegal to delay or detain a human pigeon. Now for a weather report with Hannah.
The current temperature is 39 degrees. The high for today was 44 degrees. The low was 27 degrees. The bobometer is at 30.15 inches and is falling. The bellometer is at 30.15 inches and is falling. Humidity is at 62%. Wind is between 1 and 5 miles per hour from the northeast. Gusts have been up to 16 miles per hour. There were 0 100ths of an inch of rain measured melted in the DCDB weather station today. Moisture accumulation is 900ths of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 7 inches and 1200ths of an inch. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. A large part of the Pacific Northwest is getting real wet today. Northwest Washington has some snow in addition to the rain. There is another small area of snow in the border between Wyoming and Colorado. Central Texas has a large area of rain and severe thunderstorms. The rest of the country is clear and sunny. Here is our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 39, low 19. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 45, low 24. Friday, partly sunny, high 45, low 24. Saturday, partly sunny, high 44, low 22. Sunday, partly sunny, high 40, low 22. New feature, we present you with a snow tell, which will give us the amount of snowpack in the mountains. We hope it will be helpful for our farmers. Statewide, the snowpack is at 118%. Here in the Southwest, we only have 80%. Now for the climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. Where's this stuff? Oh, there it is. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide of moisture and hot and cool temperatures. But the general climate trend is the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 409.4. 2 weeks ago, 408.49. Last year, 406.28. 10 years ago, 385.39. 50 years ago, 322.84. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tan of the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our Kids News Show on air by buying a sponsorship. To become a sponsor, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to your news director.
And that's the end of today's DCTV 4-H news program. This is your news director, LL Scrambled M. Good night, and thank you for watching. We hope to see you and hear from you tomorrow.